What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What it
Good morning.
do?
Good morning, good morning, good night, good afternoon. All things in between.
It's
Welcome to
all
the
of that
Remedy Room,
somewhere in the world.
everybody. I'm your co-host, Mr. Wright, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host, the First Lady, Miss Akia.
Hello.
How you doing, Mr. Perspective himself, Mr. Carlos,
What's up, everybody?
and the beautiful and talented Miss Unapologetic.
Good
Come on, man.
morning.
How you doing?
Oh, no.
Brought it out.
I wasn't ready. I was
All
not
right.
ready. She finally got the tambourine.
She
Where is the
got the
mic?
salmon.
Where's First Lady Mike? She ain't got it tonight. Okay. Or today, excuse me.
Right. Don't even get me on the mic, Carlos. Don't even
Cause
get me
I
on the
got
Was
mic.
something
this
for y'all.
because it's supposed to be together, but it's okay.
Yeah, we are unequally yoked. It's listen.
Uh,
No,
my God. Mm. We need to work on that in 2022.
You do.
happy,
We need things
happy
to make
New
sense and be
Year.
intentional. Well,
Listen,
amen.
okay, I got something for y'all real quick. If I let you over and like get in front of me in the car, you
Hmm.
better wave.
You better
Like if
wave.
I let you
Better.
over and let you get in front of me or something like that, if I'm courteous enough to do that, you better wave.
So
You
what
better
Hmm.
throw
happens?
up a
What
hand or something.
what happens if a person does not wave as you're letting them pass?
I run behind you. Honey, I
Yes.
will speed
I'm gonna
behind you
follow you over
aggressive.
there, and I'm probably gonna pull up beside your car and look at
Exactly. And then you
You know
messed
you're
it up for
supposed to wave.
anybody else.
But what is that going
you.
to
It's just gonna make me
solve?
feel better.
Oh, okay. The
It's the
pettiness.
equivalent to if someone don't open the door and you say you could have held the door or hold the door
Yeah,
open. You could have held the door. You can't say that because you're in the car. So you just got to be an aggressive driver for like 5 seconds and be
I
Hmm.
like,
agree.
I know
I
you
Oh,
agree.
put that hand up.
okay.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay. I mean,
And
I
then
just
around your car.
Do you
I just
wave, Carlos?
I do, but I've noticed there's a lot of drivers who don't anymore. Like that's not
Hmm. As if
a
they're
thing.
Is
entitled
hold on,
to.
but do it be
Um, it's a little mix of both, honestly.
Mm.
It's a mix
because
from what I from.
in my
And
experience, it be the others.
but it also
Hmm.
might be where you live too.
True.
Okay,
True.
okay, I
Yeah, I
agree with
do
that.
live.
It could be
Yeah.
where you live. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with that. Hey, y'all,
So
I got something else for y'all. First off, Happy New Year, everybody. If you just joining us in the Remedy Room, Happy New Year to you guys. Happy
Happy
2022.
New Year.
We
It's
made
season
it.
two, and
You're
y'all are going to be
here.
proud of me. Y'all are going to be proud of me, y'all.
What you
You
do?
drink water?
I
That's the
I
only
am
way we're gonna be
drinking
proud.
water. I'm drinking water.
Hallelujah.
I went to the doctor and got scared straight. My
Mm.
He's
cholesterol,
still
like
feeling.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
drinking water.
I was scared my
Hallelujah.
kidneys messed up. I'm drinking water, y'all.
You
He'll
know,
humble
me and
you.
your goddaughter,
Yes, he
we were
will.
just talking about you, Arthur. Like right before we got on here,
Yeah,
we were talking about you drinking water, and I had told them that I wasn't going to give you my kidney.
oh,
Are you
Uh,
choking?
see,
did he
it's
take a
not in
sip of
my
water?
system yet. I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't. He wants some
It's
Kool-Aid.
choking him up. He got to get used to
This is real cold turkey for him. He probably he probably want a Coke or a Pepsi.
it. Some Arizona tea.
Oh,
No, but yeah,
that's pure sugar.
I got scared straight, and I was like, man, I'm gonna start drinking water. So I've been drinking faithfully ever since. So about a week and a half now.
About 3 days.
7 days. Okay.
Y'all see,
You a
see,
week and a
You got to
half
start
now.
somewhere.
Not
Okay.
3 days, but you said it was a week. I'm done. So I could buy you one of those little canisters now, so you can start putting your water in to take the word.
Sure can.
see.
You
I
like
don't
it
know if
That
I
cold
want to
way.
or
drink.
room temperature?
I think I just like the feel of the bottle
No,
of
no, no,
water.
no, no. This guy.
I,
So what we can do, we can get you one of those, and you can carry it with you to work, and then we can get you a filtered what you call it, that you
Mm-hmm.
put in the refrigerator, so you don't have to keep buying all those bottles. Because I know it'd be hurting your little back, and then you carrying all these little bottles that go in your house. So then
Mm-hmm.
you can pour from there. That you can always have fresh water to drink, and you're drinking more than just that little bottle. Because I know you just gonna drink that one bottle in a day and think
No,
you
see,
did
but
something.
but that
He been drinking multiple
I've
bottles. I
been
do have
drinking
to say that.
multiple.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
you know,
God is
so
in the
just do
midst.
pray for
That's
me.
good.
Ain't he?
He is.
Ain't
He
he?
is.
That's all
Praise
right.
God.
Look at his
Praise
face
God for
glowing.
change.
Look, look at you, your smile
He
getting
I
brighter,
gotta
rocking.
your
cry.
skin glowing better. Don't you feel better? You feel like you got a little more
He
energy, don't you?
laughing more. He laughing more too. Cause you know he normally the serious one. Look at
You
him.
know
Mhm.
what?
Your
Okay.
body
He
feels
ain't
good.
mad. He
Wow.
ain't trying to be petty right now.
Okay,
Huh?
you
Mm-mm.
know what? Hey guys, all right. I had a topic for today. Best qualities a person can have.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
You already know
Let's help
what
some.
I think. It's the
um,
same thing every time.
it's the same thing.
What? That's what I got nervous. What you was gonna say?
Hold on, I think I know
Honesty,
it. Hold on.
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah,
Tell the
Tell the
truth.
truth, but
trust
nothing
me.
but the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Shame the
Tell
Yeah.
the
I
devil.
thought that
truth.
was it. You want to know what mine is?
What?
Your word. I think your
Okay.
word is the best quality you can have. Telling somebody if you were going to do something for somebody, or your word is
Mm-hmm.
your bond. And I think that's one of the best qualities a person can have, because I've been dealing with a lot of folks that, have told me that they were going to do something, they were going to fit, and they did not show up or didn't do what they said that they were going to do. So I always try to make sure that I am intentional about, if I say that I'm going to be there, if I say I'm going to cut your grass, if I say I'm going to whatever, all going whatever, do I try to
Do it.
hold on to my end of the bargain. So
Mm-hmm.
your
Right.
word.
Do you
My thing.
extend grace if somebody doesn't hold up
Right.
to what
Do
they
I
said?
extend grace? uh
This is getting no.
okay, let me ask you something. Is grace is extended regardless of an apology?
Yes,
It should be.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what grace
Yeah.
is.
I was gonna
Yeah.
add to that. I was gonna say, if you say you're gonna do something, but then if you tell me ahead of time that, oh, I maybe not can do this anymore, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
like
that's a part
just,
of your
Mm-hmm.
word though, because you're speaking like your word, like you're
yeah,
telling
yeah,
telling
okay,
up front
okay.
or something that you can't do. So
Okay.
that all ties into word for me. So if you
But if
can't
you
if
just
you
let that
can't do
thing
it, but you let me
ride,
know up front that you can't, or you
yeah,
tell me, hey, something came up, I'm so sorry, but not
Mm-hmm.
not
yeah,
10 seconds before. Um,
yeah,
being
yeah.
intentional.
So
That's
you
my
don't extend grace, is what you're saying.
It's
Okay.
conditional for him. He might.
Thank God, God's grace is not like that.
God's grace is
It's new
sufficient for
every
me.
morning.
Okay, and
Hallelujah.
thank God we ain't God. Okay.
You're right. Ladies, what about you guys?
Go
I
ahead.
think I'm the same with I'm being honest. Like I
Mhm.
think honesty covers a lot if you're
Yeah.
just honest. Open and honest. Like don't
Yeah.
just be open and communicate. So yeah, just being honest.
Mhm.
Okay, being honest.
I wrote down two because y'all know I take notes. So
Oh.
I put down
Wait, you took
integrity.
notes for the question he just asked?
You knew this was coming. She had a pre-meeting.
Right.
She met in the pastor study, child. She didn't saw what was coming up.
Oh,
Go ahead and
that's
bless us.
funny.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's funny. Integrity, which kind of goes along with what you all said,
hmm
Okay.
and patience. I think
Yeah,
patience is important.
that is
Patience
big.
Mm.
it is.
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
And
Mhm.
that's one of my pet peeves, actually.
What, being
People who don't.
impatient?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, it burns
Oh,
me up.
can I ask a follow up question to Shamika and Carlos as far as
Mhm.
the honesty piece? Is omitting information, do you frown upon that? Like, so when you say honest, are you saying if you ask somebody something, you want them to tell you the truth? Like, what happened? If they omit it, or omit some of the story, is that do you deem that as being dishonest, or you see what I'm saying?
I see it as if that's only that's only if I already know
Ooh,
something and I'm waiting on you to tell me the
Right.
truth. Because other than that, I don't know what you
You will never
omitted.
know. Hmm.
But I have learned that sometimes when you're asking for a truth, you should be open to probe more questions because some people aren't going to necessarily give you all the details. Not because they're not
Hmm.
willing to, but it's like sometimes like, well, I gave you this, that must be enough for you.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So I think that is a piece that you can add on.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I got you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that somebody leaving out something is them necessarily being dishonest.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
Hmm.
for whatever reason they're not sharing the
Yeah.
Sharing,
whole whatever.
Because
got
Yeah.
you.
yeah.
they may give you a summary of what happened
Hmm.
versus
Hmm.
detail every, down to the second. Like you don't need, like if somebody cheats, do you need to know exactly what they did in cheating? They
Right.
cheated. Like,
And that depends on the person because that might bring
Hmm.
you peace if you got more details, and then some people might be like,
yeah,
I don't want to know no more. I know what I need to know. All right, cool.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
So
okay. So
yeah,
some people, hey, Remedy Room. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about what characteristics are you looking for in a person? What are your top characteristics that you look for in a person? And we've talked about integrity, talked about honesty, and also your word. I, see, y'all done started again. I can't.
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
what are the best qualities
yeah,
you look
yeah,
for in a
yeah.
person? What I do. See, I'm drinking water. I'm drinking
Okay,
water
look,
now. What I do now?
y'all gotta learn when
You look.
Akia does this, she up to something.
Every time she
I
be
knew it
starting
was
this.
coming.
She be starting this. I ain't had nothing to do with
I was trying to hold it back.
I'm not
it.
gonna say
I
what
was
I
drink.
thought, what I think it is.
I
I
was
What
think
kind
drinking.
of
it's
water is that?
yours.
By I'm sorry. What kind of water is that? By the way.
This is
Uh-uh.
great value.
Why?
Great value.
I just
Walmart.
want
You already know it got to be name brand for him. He can't
I
do
know.
nothing.
to
Hey,
know. I
shop
just
at
want.
Ross, Marshalls. It got to be Walmart. It got to be
He's
name
trying to
brand.
But
drink
see, you can
smart
drink
water.
any water, Arthur, because you're not experienced with waters.
Yeah.
So any water,
Yeah.
you could drink Aquafina.
Okay, I don't
Ooh,
Nobody
like
drinks
Dasani.
Aquafina.
I don't like
No,
Dasani.
no.
I
That
don't
Yeah.
is
either.
Mm-mm.
nasty.
Mm-mm.
It's nasty.
I mean, you ain't far from it. You got great value. Might be a little, just little smidge step up.
Have y'all seen those meme not memes but those videos like on Facebook? They do the pH balance of all the different types of waters.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know which ones win, but I know
I know they say smart water is
smart
good.
water. Okay,
What
What's
kind
that?
you drink, Mr. Perspective?
I actually have a filtered um, little jug, so I don't really
Mm-hmm.
buy that much anymore. Every now and then I'll buy like what is it called? It's like equalizer or something like that. It has like the pH thing on it. It tells you the
Mm-hmm.
pH. It's
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
red and black. I don't know. I don't remember.
I'll get more well versed in the types of waters
In the
Praise
waters.
God,
as I
because
Mm.
we
continue
know
on my
you well
journey.
versed in soda.
And juice too.
Oh yeah, and juice. He love a Minute Maid, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I drank
Kia,
Huggies
I know
still.
y'all ain't right.
We don't drink
Okay,
no
great.
Huggies now. We for sure ain't that ain't in them depths.
Capri
Kia, I
Sun.
know along with this topic, I know since you have your notes over there, I know you had and you had Miss Unapologetic. y'all had a specific topic that y'all wanted to talk about, and I can't verbalize it fully, and I want to make sure. I want to make
I
sure
love
that I
I
am
love
getting
it.
it right.
I
That was
love how
smart.
you said that.
Yeah, that was good.
I- in other words, I don't really know what
What it is. So y'all
what
Okay,
got
what
all
we
right.
talking about?
Listen, I know it has something to do with dad beat dads
and moms.
and the
Wait,
lack
Yeah.
of
wait, 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 wait.
accountability.
Hold up. Bring that back. Bring that back. Dad be dad.
I won't go. I was gonna let it go.
Dad be
Nobody's fighting.
dad. Dad be dad.
See,
Dad
I
be
should have just left it
dad.
alone. I should have left it
Dad
alone.
be dad. Okay, so let's let Miss Unapologetic kind of like break it down for
Yes.
Okay, so on my timeline on Facebook, I see this from the females. I see a lot of females um always posting about what the father of their kids don't do. And,
Okay.
support, attend games, pay for things, whatever.
Mhm,
That the person does not do that.
mhm.
Mhm.
But the person ain't been doing it for 20 years. So when do you take accountability that you laid down with this person? And we can speak to the children. Hey, like,
Mhm.
wait, is he muted too? Y'all funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, that you laid down with this person and had a baby or multiple
Mhm.
kids with them, and that
Okay.
this person had kids prior to yours, and he didn't take care of them.
Okay.
So why or when do you just live your life? If you have a significant other, so the kids have a male figure, a male role model in their life, and you're working, you're taking care of your kids just fine, why don't you just let it go? Like, what's the purpose of continuing to say what this person don't do? It's not going to change the person. The person, the deadbeat. That's just what they. That's it. That's what they do. Move
Got you.
on. Live your life. Like you have a whole family. Focus on that.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. I like to start because my personality type is logician. So I kind of like to start from like the whole conception of thing. Obviously, guy and a girl meet, whether they are in a relationship, one night stand.
Mm.
I'm
Mhm.
just drinking my
God is
water.
God is in the midst.
He is.
It's heavy in here. Huh? It's like a
We
cold,
got the
Don't
mighty
you
God
rush.
in
feel
the
it?
spirit.
It's a,
Don't you feel it,
it's
Arthur?
a, it's a mighty rushing wind.
I don't even want to go no more. I forgot my train of thought. Somebody else can go. Somebody else go.
No,
Oh,
you said
I don't even know what.
you
A
said you was
logician.
a lot,
A logician.
logician, a logician.
Yeah. Logician.
Is that in
So
the
that
web?
means you
Is
think
that in the web?
logically.
That in the Webster?
It's in the urban.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Urban
did
Dictionary.
that after I took a sip of water, Lord.
Whew.
What is
I'm a
Bobby?
logician. You better be a logician in 2022.
But the
What?
water is working because he's still laughing. He ain't turned his camera off.
I think I'm a logician too. Because that means you're a logical person, correct? That's the
Logical
meaning.
thinker.
I got it.
We
I lost my
understand.
go ahead.
I
Somebody else
love
go.
urban stuff. I work with urban kids.
Somebody,
So I love it. I love it. I
Well,
love
how
it.
do you spell that?
somebody else go.
Is
I
it like
think it's
magician
Ella.
but logistics?
It's probably Logican.
Logian. Logician.
Magician.
So like logic to put the IAN at the end.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's it. We're gonna ask him to translate. Uh
We need the spirit to give utterance. too.
I might
A
have
fresh
to
word.
lay down right now so he can
We
speak to me.
we gonna get back to the topic, but I just want to point out I love the confidence in
I
him
love it.
saying it because he said, "Baby, I'm a logician,
I'm a logician
and y'all gonna hear me, huh? You gonna hear where I'm coming from because I'm a logician.
because I'm a logician, and that's what I am.
I am that. Say less.
I'm
Bing
gonna get you
bong.
a shirt, Arthur. Cause there's
Listen,
other
Bing
people
bong.
out there that are logicians. So I'm gonna get you a shirt. You might be on to something.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
I
Pastor.
know
Go
what you
ahead.
are.
somebody else go, and then I'll come
Mm.
back. I gotta think. I gotta think again. What I was gonna say.
Mhm.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
My thing, I guess, the way that these two topics mesh is because you meet a person. Typically, you learn a little bit about them. You know their personality. You see how they act, how they treat people. If they already have children, you kind of know what that relationship is like.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then you decide to have a child with them. And now all of a sudden, they're every negative thing you can think of. So it's like, where was
Okay.
that beforehand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
did you just overlook it? Did you think it was going to change? You were going to change them? It would be different because now he with me. I
Hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that thought process. I mean, I know things can happen. Maybe you really don't know that person that well, and you just get pregnant. But typically, you have some idea of what this person is bringing to the table.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah,
It's true. Who else? What else we got?
Well, I was gonna say, I think a lot of times people, well, I think we talked about this before, like live off potential, and they
mm-hmm.
hope for
Mm-hmm.
something to transpire to be different because they're a different person. But at the end of the day, if that person has not changed their ways, it doesn't matter who new comes into their life, they're gonna do the same thing. Even if they're presenting like in the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, because people like to talk up a good game, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a better man and I'm gonna take care of the kids and blah 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 blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. And I've heard a lot of guys like in that situation, like they kind of like down talk the original baby mother, and then the new one is kind of like on team whatever his name is, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's like they got that little bond together, and then when everything hits the fan, now it goes back to now she's complaining, and it's like, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was kind of already there. But you see things with rose-colored glasses when you fall in
Mm-hmm.
love or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
and you just be blinded, and so then you end up in that situation.
love is blind. It'll take over your
It'll
Take
take
over
mind.
your mind.
a huh from the Book of Eve.
Okay, so all right, so are we saying that if you get involved with someone, obviously that person needs to be vetted before you have children? Bec-
Ideally.
Ideally,
Yeah.
because we're talking about deadbeat dads, and so
And
where's
moms. We're
that?
gonna put
And,
moms in it too. I don't want them to
okay,
think that
deadbeat
mom's an
dads
excuse.
and okay, deadbeat dads and
Mm-hmm.
moms. So yeah, so it's the accountability piece. So if you know that this person, you have seen them and how they manage their work, their finances, everything like that, and how they manage, life before kids, and that should allow you to see if they're a potential mate. You know, obviously
Mm-hmm.
things change, like you can lose your job, everything like that, and a lot of men can fall on hard times if they're going to
Mm-hmm.
be
Hmm.
if, in that category of deadbeat. But what do we say is a deadbeat dad? Like
Hmm.
what are we saying that person looks like? What does that person look like to you? A deadbeat father
Right.
Doing nothing.
doing
Because
nothing.
I'm a believer that you don't have to be, if you're not with that person does not have to be rich to be in their kid's life, because kids are gonna remember time spent more than what money bought them.
Yeah.
So if you could just spend time with your child, you learn so many, the favorite color, what they like to do, what subjects in school they like, favorite food. Like you learn your kid versus just buying them stuff and not spending time. I would rather have time over money. So if you don't do either, you a deadbeat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. I did a speech or a talk some time ago, maybe about I want to say probably like 2013, and I
Mhm.
talked to a group of men for a back to school. They were trying to be mentors for elementary school, and I did a speech, and I pretty much said that the only person that can call you father or a dad is actually your child. The wife can't call you're not the father to your wife, the wife or your girlfriend. You're only a father to your child. So
You don't want me
however
to call you daddy?
well so in essence, however the child views you, that's the only measuring stick that you can go by to tell if you are a deadbeat father or deadbeat dad. How the child views you, because the mom can put a lot of ideas in the child. The child might not view the same way as the person that the father dealt with. So the child is the litmus test for all fathers. If the child is happy with you as their father, if they love you, then you can only go by that, because nobody else can call you father. They're what I'm saying, they're not your child. So that's how I
Mm.
view it. So when I hear about deadbeat dad, I have to say, well, what are they doing? How does the child view it? If the child views it, my father does not love me, my father is not around, my father does not do this, then
Mhm.
that is their view of their actual father. Now, if you hear other people in the community, oh, your dad ain't nothing, he ain't nothing. You hear the mom talking about your dad ain't nothing, he didn't come pick you up. Well, that's up to the child and the father. If the child says, okay, daddy didn't come today, all right, I will catch him on that. Now, if he continues to
Mm.
do it and that child develops that persona of their father, then that's when the father has to understand that, if he didn't provide for his children, then I like the scriptures call him worse than an infidel, like an unbeliever. So it really doesn't matter. So that's my
Mm.
perception of deadbeat fathers and children.
That's a good perspective. I didn't
Yeah, I like that.
think of it that way, but that makes a lot of
Mm-hmm.
sense. That does make sense.
And I also don't think you should. I agree, Arthur. I don't think you should bash the mother or
Mhm.
Yeah.
father to the
Right,
children.
right.
They let them. However, I'm not gonna pick up the slack. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, well, maybe he's sick." Well, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie
Oh,
for
I
him. He
like
just
that.
didn't come. I'm
Yeah.
call your
Mhm.
dad and ask him why didn't he
Yeah,
come pick
yeah,
you up.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. But I just leave that to the kid to form their opinion of the person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that perspective. I never really heard that like that. I think it's been thought about, but not like verbalized. Because there are some parents out here who will influence their child because they mad at the daddy or they mad at the mama because they done moved on
Mhm.
or
Mm-hmm.
they ain't getting what they want. So that's pretty cool. Like for the child to be a litmus test.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's because we never had this conversation with a logician before.
This is true.
That's why. Come
Hallelujah.
on, logic.
Pastor is a
Logician.
logician.
We got to get you
Mm.
a special collar. You need a collar, but not a white one.
Not
It
a
need
white
to
one.
be
You got to get
like
a cut. It
what
got to be a color.
a logician. It's like he will wear a blue collar. No, no,
Color
maybe purple for royalty. Huh?
royalty. Yes,
I
Huh?
just
yes.
okay, so I just want
I'm
to
gonna
I
get
just
you a
want to make
collar.
sure that I'm not missing anything. I said logician, and I believe it's a word. So because I am that. So I just want to make sure that when we get off this camera, that y'all just say to Siri, "What is a logician?" And
Where
if
is
it
my
comes up and it's right,
computer?
She gonna say Arthur. That's
I
what
wish
she
I had
gonna
my
say.
computer.
He told us.
He did.
So
He
I just
trying to
want
get us told. It don't work.
What I said was a logician, and I know
And
it to
I
be a
am
I
that.
word,
know it.
and I am
I am.
that.
That is me.
In this new year, I don't care what people got to say about me. I've been delivered from people. And if you know the word or not, it doesn't matter because I know it. I made the word. I am the word. I walk with the word. That's what he said.
That's
That's
what
what he
he
said.
said.
You
And the
lucky my
girl
computer
says
is in that bag
the
over there. I would
ABC.
go because I
He
really want to look it up
told
now.
us. He said, "Cause I
Oh,
am that." You
you
better
better
Right.
speak
stand
So
up for
That's
your.
listen,
what he
like,
said. You
we were
about to
talking
get
about
your name changed.
I love it,
He ain't
Mister
even know
we were
what
Stand
talking
Up.
time
about
was.
talking about the accountability. So do we have to hold women more accountable for who they partner with, as far as who they have a child with?
No, we have to hold each other
I
accountable.
think
Yeah.
everybody
Because
got it.
see,
Yeah.
from the premise
You can't have a baby by yourself.
of deadbeat father, deadbeat fathers, um,
There-
especially if there are multiple children that came from that same deadbeat.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm,
So in
mm-hmm.
that
So do
scenario,
we
I see what
have
you're
to
saying.
now hold women accountable?
Yeah. I think if it's multiple kids, then yes, because you already did it once and
Right.
he was how he was. So why would you do it again?
Mm,
But if it's the first kid by that person, it's both people because you know if you want to be a great father,
right.
you already know that. Like Naaman didn't have any kids, and I had a 2-year old. He didn't have to want to be a father to Anaya. He didn't make her, but he
Right.
wanted to be a father. So he was a father. So you know if you want to be a good mom or a good dad. So if a
Mm-hmm.
guy just want to be out here just, hitting and running, then
Mm-hmm.
okay, what we need to do to make sure I ain't popping out no kids because I ain't ready to do that. I don't want to be a dad. And the
Mm-hmm.
Right.
same as a female. I'm not trying to get pregnant. I'm not ready to be a mother. Ain't nothing I'm looking forward to, whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. I love that.
I was gonna
What,
say
what
something, but I forgot what it was.
what would y'all's advice be to, people to younger? I mean, we close to 40, y'all.
Oh my God.
So
Mm.
We real close. I'm
Damn.
real close.
40 and fine. 40 and fine.
This is my last year in my 30s.
Oh
Her.
my goodness. Wow, Shmi, you look
Woo!
good, girl. You look
Dang.
good.
You
Thank
do.
you.
You look
I'll be
younger.
39 in 2 months.
Look at
What would
that.
y'all's advice be to, people that want to have, children now, or do you advise that you need to probably be married, or do you not advise that y'all need to be like in a committed relationship before y'all cross that threshold of bringing a child into this world? Um, because I hear moreover a lot of women. I hear moreover saying, I'll just, I'm gonna have a child regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I hear I'm gonna have a child regardless. So if the father's not in his life, I'm still gonna have a child. So, what would your advice be to, I guess the younger generation, children, or
I would say crawl before you walk.
mm,
Put put yourself first. Do all the do some of the things that you want to do. Um, travel. I'm not saying you can't do these things when you have children, but like just take time to enjoy life, and it's just you.
Mm-hmm.
That you're the only
Mm-hmm.
person that you have to worry about.
Right.
And then take some time to figure out what would you want in a father. Because I mean, when I got married, I really wasn't thinking about how will Arthur be as a father per se, but I knew that you were good as a husband
Mm-hmm.
and as a
Mm-hmm.
brother and as a son, but I didn't really look at you thinking, okay, well, I want him to, be this type of father or whatever. But I took time. I mean, we waited several years before we had a child. Um, but I knew what you were going to bring to the table. And I think that's important for, a person to really have a good understanding of who they are getting into a
Mm-hmm.
committed relationship with, because you kind of know what to expect when a child comes into the picture.
So you ain't look at me like, oh, I
Okay.
want to have babies.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not initially, not in the beginning. No, not in the beginning.
She said, no, no, yeah, we got to grow into that.
Uh-huh. Now I knew what kind of mother I wanted to be, but I didn't think about you, as far as like, I didn't have a picture of how I wanted you to be as a dad. And that
Gotcha.
could be because I grew up in a single parent home. So that thought wasn't necessarily a priority, if that makes sense. Because for me, the norm was just a mother in the household.
Okay.
So while I would want,
And you know what? That makes a lot of sense because when I had Anaya, I told myself then, I'm not having any more kids unless it's by my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bringing any more because for me, it was a 2-parent household.
Right.
And I just saw that dynamic and how well it worked. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, no, I'm never going to bring another child in this world. And I'm not with the father. So
Right.
I'm not, I wouldn't have any more until I had a husband.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do
Makes
think
sense.
that having a husband is important before you have a child, because then you can see the level of commitment. How committed is my husband to me? How committed would he be to a child? You know what I mean? Is he gonna be hands on, hands off? Is he gonna,
Right.
be patient or understanding or whatever?
Yeah.
Some of those qualities we said were important. You kind of see how that person is in that light as far as being your spouse.
And see, I had a tester because if Naaman sucked with Anaya, then I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
Right.
it
Okay.
wouldn't be.
Okay.
But
But
I'm gonna just add this last thing. But I will also say, why y'all laughing at me?
Go
I
ahead,
was,
say you want
I
to
was
talk.
like,
No,
huh? No, you can go ahead. I was going
You go. Go ahead.
to
No, I was gonna say last thing. Having sex, I knew that I didn't want to get pregnant, but sometimes you get caught up in a moment and you're like, nah, I'm gonna be all right. Like you don't really think like, okay, I could get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I know that that can happen. That some people, you're not
Right.
really thinking about it for real, for real. Like, it could happen. You might prevent it, you might not, but sometimes your mindset is not there, when you're
Right.
in the moment. So I'm gonna just
Right.
throw that out there so people don't feel like we bashing them.
Right.
Right.
You're not bashing because I'm right here with a whole child by somebody else. I mean,
So what I was going to bring up was like, what do y'all say to the people who are not trying to have a spouse? They just want to have a child. Like Arthur was saying, there's women out here saying, I'm gonna have a child regardless. I know there's men out here saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, what would y'all say to them, as far as that's concerned?
I think if you have if a single male or female wants to have a baby, I feel like they have a right to. And but what's important is having a male figure or female figure that would play an important role in that child's life. Because a child needs role models. That's what they need. So I don't think you have to necessarily have one living in your house and married to them, but as long as they're involved in that child's life. Like if a guy wanted a little girl, he can't teach her about having her period. So you need to have some female, whether it's the mom, the sister, an aunt, a best friend, someone who's gonna like almost take a vow. I'm gonna always be here for her, no
Yeah.
matter
Okay.
what. I think so. Yeah, I'm for if people want a kid, and if you're stable financially, and you have a peaceful environment and you're safe and whatever, have a kid if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm very traditional, as you know. I'm black and white, so the family starts with me with a husband and a wife. That's where a family starts. The family doesn't start with a child with me. It starts with the the parent, the parental unit,
Hmm.
father, mother, and then making a child. So I would say that someone that does wants to forego having a father or a mother in their life is actually a little bit selfish.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit selfish. Now, I'm not bashing anyone that wants to do that. Like Miss Unapologetic said, if you had the resources to make that happen, go. I mean, by all means, do it. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to do a really good job. But I'm more traditional in my sense of where the family starts. That's just
But
me.
what about adoption though? Like, it's so many kids out here who don't even have a family. And if I can financially take care of a child or two, or however many I want, I don't have to necessarily birth them. I just want a child to be able to be in a nurturing, warm home and grow up to, have access to everything that they want to have. Like,
Wow.
why not?
I
It's
love
not
I love how you put
traditional,
that. Yeah,
but
yeah, you're making it. You're not being sold. You're making obviously you're making a sacrifice. So I guess there are exceptions to the rule. So my traditional stance doesn't have any particular. You
what you
know
doing?
what? Doesn't have any particular rule exception to the rule. But I would say yeah that I think adoption, foster, all of it is great. So
Mm-hmm.
so I would in that light, I would say that is an unselfish act, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
take on somebody because you know that they need a family, and you can provide that for them. But if you want to do it without, if you're saying, "Oh, I don't need no man or don't need no woman to do it," I think that's a little bit selfish. But if you have that mindset that I want to, man, I want to help some kids out that don't have families, don't have a father or mother in their life, and I can provide that. So yeah, that's really
But what
cool.
if you like 45 years old and you still just haven't found the right man?
Wow.
Men can
Yeah,
produce far longer than females can.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let's say you haven't found that, but you want to have a baby. Should you say, okay, well, I'm just SOL because I don't have a husband and it's not traditional? Or do you say, I'm going to go down to here to this sperm bank and pick out what child pick out pick out my
Okay,
quality?
I'll answer that. Carla, you want to say anything to that question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think at the end of the day, it's up to you, your individual choice. Because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it's your life. Whatever you do is whatever you do. If you make it work, make it work. Because people gonna do what they want to do anyway. Um, so I think I don't think it has to be a negative thing necessarily if you go that route to just be that single parent. Like Shamika was saying, if you got the resources and the means to do so, I mean, who's
Feel free.
Yeah.
to say no? So yeah, I think it's just personal choice at the end of the day.
I love it. To Shamika, man, if you get to your 40s and don't have a
Oh my.
yo,
She in there?
she in here.
I
Oh
got
hey.
kicked out.
This
Oh
is you
wow.
know what?
I can't take it. Carla,
Mm.
My phone kicked me out, y'all.
Oh, it's all right.
It
come
didn't
on in the
die.
room.
Oh, okay.
It's tough because that when you get it's kind of like you're pinned up against a wall. It's like, man, I really wanted to provide some life. I wanted to have a child. I wanted to experience that. So it,
Because it's easy
but
for
yeah,
it's easier for like, it'll be easier for like you and Nakia or Shamika and Naaman to say like, oh,
Right,
well, we have this construct of a traditional family
right,
and we had kids and like you get what I'm saying? It's almost like
yeah,
saying, nah, nah, we can have kids, blah, blah, blah.
right.
Because you
You need to
have the
find
two
you a
working,
man.
right?
Yeah,
Or
you need to find you a man so you can have
so
kids. Like
so this woman has to be, she has to miss out on something that she really could give because she doesn't have the traditional look. So like,
right.
I just, like I said, I think it's up to the individual, what they want to
Because I
do.
ain't telling my two girls to settle. Don't settle with no man just so you can pop out some kids and be a mom. Like,
Okay. Oh,
people say
I
this
think
all the time. You can do it by
this gonna
yourself.
bring us
You don't.
to a bigger topic that we can talk about on another cast, like this settling. Like, do and I don't want to get on no Kevin Samuels or anything like that, but
Oh, Lord.
is the y'all start grumbling already.
Uh,
I think modern women are taught to be independent, as opposed to obviously my parents' time. My parents are in their 70s, so in that time they were taught that you get married, you have kids.
mhm,
So, but now this modern is independent. Go to school. Don't worry about no man. You got to have a backup plan because you might not have a man. But and that's where this comes, where you might get to 45 now, and you might not have been in the spaces to deal with a man, but you want to have a child. So now
mhm.
you have the sperm banks, the in vitro, or you have all that. But that can be a topic for another day. We don't got to get into that right now, but I think that'll be a really good topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of the quote that Kia was saying, that crawl before you walk in, and remind me of the Martin Luther King quote: "If you can't fly, run. If you can't
Mm-hmm.
run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you
Crawl.
do, just keep moving,
Well,
moving forward." So, uh,
I'm reminded of uh,
What you reminded of,
I'm
Mr.
reminded of
Queen?
a song lyric from a wise man.
What
He
he say? What he
said,
say?
"If you can't feed your baby, then don't have a baby." His name is Michael Jackson. Huh?
that's Michael.
What song
Yeah.
is that?
Want to be starting something. He said, if you can't feed your
Remind me
baby,
of
then don't have a baby.
Don't have a baby. He did.
That just stuck out to me. I said, you right. You
you
right.
right. You right.
You right.
Yeah,
Yep.
because some two-parent households don't need to
You're
be
right.
having children
You right.
You're right.
Huh?
I
at
agree.
all.
Listen,
I
you
agree.
know, it's out there.
Mhm.
Hey y'all. Listen, y'all got anything else?
Mm.
No, I don't think so. Oh,
He's
I
shutting it
did
down.
want
He
to
said,
just
Oh,
cl-
so
say
now.
he said, close the door to the remedy room. We done.
what she say?
logician is
Woo!
All
And
right,
I spelled it right.
read the definition.
it's a personality type. They
Look at
are
Arthur. He think
analytical, oh, no, I'm sorry. Analytical, original,
Okay.
open-minded. So y'all
Okay.
know I had to like really look into the open-minded one for Arthur.
open-minded. Really? That's
So
one of
it
the.
says they're driven by curiosity and an intense desire to learn everything that they can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Curious, they're objective, but
Mm-hmm.
their weaknesses are they're disconnected, meaning they can get lost in their own train of thought. They're insensitive,
Mm-hmm.
dissatisfied,
Mm, mm,
impatient, and perfectionistic.
mm.
You
So
know what, Arthur? That describes you to a T. The only
to a
thing I'm
T.
not really sold on is being open-minded. I feel
Mm.
like you see what you see and that's it. Like you have a hard time seeing. You did good tonight when I brought up, an alternative to having kids or whatever. But most of the time, I feel like you know what you see it your way, and that's it.
New year, new Arthur.
But you doing you.
Gone. Gone. He about to be, he
Oh,
said,
wait a
I ain't
second.
about.
Wait. Hold up your tambourine. The front.
Gone, remedy room,
Gone.
tambourine.
Gone right now.
We would be selling tambourines in the back of the truck. We'll pull up to your house. Make sure you wear a mask and some gloves because COVID is running
Make
rampant.
Hey,
sure.
wear your mask. As Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Caldwell said. Wear
your
your
mask.
mask.
Listen, because I just got over COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Praise
Not the
God.
kids, not the wife.
Thanking
because it's
God
coming
it
for
ain't
everybody.
touched me yet.
I
Yeah,
know,
but
right?
I
wow,
hope you
what a
don't
blessing.
get it.
Yeah.
Guys, thank y'all so much. Hey guys, if y'all joined in to today, this afternoon, we talked about qualities that we look for in a spouse or a lover or whatever. We also talked about dead beat dads. And we
Still sounds
it's still and then the first lady, her power went out, and she had to join me up here. Pretty much that was the whole show. And then they tried to correct me on something that I knew because I am Mister Right. But we're not gonna talk about. We're not
We
gonna
were
talk about
not
that.
trying to correct you.
We're
Just
not gonna talk
because
about
we
that.
were
But
just because we were unaware of the word. I even spelled the word for you. I said, yeah, I think
She
this is how
did
you
that.
spell it. So we were not saying
It's
it
okay.
doesn't exist. We had just never heard it. That's it.
Gotcha.
You taught us something new.
Hey,
Okay.
it's 2022. Hey guys, while you're searching for your remedy, always remember you don't always have to be right.
And be open to a new perspective.
Put yourself first.
And live your life unapologetically.
Remember the room. I love you, everybody.
Peace. Thanks for
Peace.
watching.
All in.
Toodles.
How we turn this thing off now that you
You
go?
know what?
I do not know.
You know what?
I do not know.
How we turn this thing.
I'm about to hit the leave button. I think we
Leave.
might just have to all leave.
Leave it. Leave it. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.